Okay, today we're going to make pulled pork. Usually you see this mostly in restaurants. I don't know why more people don't make it at home. It's very easy to make. All we're going to do is create the rub with some spices and then put it in the oven overnight for low and slow cooking. Low temperature, long time. Breaks down the pork and then we just pull it apart with forks, literally. Let's get started. Okay, for the pulled pork rub, all we need is some basic simple ingredients. 3 tablespoons of paprika, 3 tablespoons of kosher salt, and 1 each of garlic powder, brown sugar, and dry mustard. Just chuck them all in a little bowl. And then we're going to just apply that to the pork. Okay, so we created our rub in the previous segment. All we have to do is spread it out over the pork, and I'm going to do this right in the pot that we're going to cook it in, because that way we won't lose anything. So we just kind of flip it around, rub it in. This is like kind of the fun of cooking, is getting to rub a huge pig in your pot. It's awesome. Anyway, so we just go around and around and around. Keep scooping up the excess spices, the rub. This is what they call a dry rub. There's no liquids at all in here. And once we've rubbed it in, we just leave this sit refrigerated for anywhere from 1 hour to overnight. And then when we're ready, we turn on our oven. We preheat our oven to like 300 degrees, which is kind of a low cooking heat. And we can literally cook this for 6+ hours. So I do it overnight. I turn it on at like 11 o'clock or midnight, and then when we wake up in the morning, we turn it off and leave it in the oven just cooling. So we do it in kind of a Dutch oven. We have a Le Creuset, and we just close that up, put it in the fridge, and we're ready to go. All right, so we've let our dry rub marinate for a couple of hours. Now all we have to do, see how the sugars have melted, sugar and salt have melted right into the flesh of the meat. Now we just put the top back on, and we're going to throw it in our oven at 300 degrees and literally cook it overnight. 6 to 8 hours is no problem. It's going to just be falling apart when we take it out. See you tomorrow morning. Okay, so it's like 6 to 8, this is actually 8 hours later. We turn off the heat, the 300 degree heat. We let it cool down in the oven for another hour or so, and voila, here we go, pulled pork. So the pork butt's completely cooked, and the pulling you do with 2 forks. You just start shredding it up like that, and you'll see it just falls apart. It's a very nice thing. So we're just going to completely shred this, and then we'll go back to serving it in a few minutes. Here's what it looks like when it's completely shredded or pulled. Alright, so here's how we serve it up. Take a little pulled pork, put on a little potato bun. I love these things. A little bit of our homemade coleslaw on the sandwich, and our homemade barbecue sauce, the star of the show. After I boiled it, I actually ground it up a little with a stick blender. You could chuck it in a regular blender when it's cooled off, or just throw it in a bottle or a jar, an old jar or something. And here we have some massaged kale that we also made. Bon appetit. Thank you.